Hey everybody, what is up? And hopefully your day, week, etc. is going well. I want to hop on here and do a series. Particularly this is going to be the intro video to a 6-part series of videos that are focused particularly on freestyle dancing. It's going to be more geared toward freestyle within street styles, so think breaking, locking, popping, crump, etc. Um, and kind of how you can get started if you haven't, and how to grow within that. So, this first video here is going to be what is freestyle, right? So, a lot of folks that are in the dancing realm, there's choreography, right? There's choreography, which is I'd say define it as a planned set of moves, right? Um, that generate an overall dance portrait, right? Or dance painting. Um, it's deliberate and intentional moves such that it was pre-planned ahead of time, practiced, rehearsed, typically focusing more on sharpness, and overall cohesiveness of the piece, as opposed to other things like energy, um, the kind of additional, uh, what would it be? An additional sort of wow factor, right? In more so in freestyle compared to choreography. So, freestyle is effectively just unplanned dance. It's in the more of the ball scene realm. In the ball scene realm, it'd be more akin to improv, uh, where it's moves that you choose to do on the spot, and that typically, there's not any pre-planned um, choreography. Now, does it happen where if you're more from the choreographic realm that perhaps you've either taken a class or even made your own choreography within that song itself, and that you pursued into, or that you decide to use that for the um, the freestyle section? Totally possible. I mean, I've seen it from time to time where folks tend to. It's not necessarily pre-choreographed. It's more structured in the sense of people think, oh, okay, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and and there's elements within that where there's sort of overlap between the two. Um, I would say, however, it's not necessarily the best, I would say, in regard to freestyle. So I'll get more into that in a couple of the later sections. Really just wanted to go into more of what is freestyle. So to me, freestyle is more, I think while it's still, there's structure to it, and there's certain aspects of freestyle where one is choosing moves, right, and choosing certain aesthetics within the dance. I think it's from a deeper place, right? So it's not something where you have it all written down, right? You have XYZ planned, Um, showcase, it's one thing where likely it's a bit more relaxed. I would say you're not going up against someone. However, if it's something where you're wanting to freestyle battle or you're freestyle battling, and it's something where uh, you're basically getting into just various different uh, situations comparatively. A lot of what freestyle is at its core is representing oneself or representing a particular style um, that one has to the best of one's ability on the spot at that time, such that it's clearly expressed and that it's clearly shared um, with the folks around, right? And you know, ultimately freestyle, it's free, right? It's what I think to a degree it's what one's been gifted in regard to being able to dance and having a unique style um, within that gift of dance and sharing it openly, right? And so I think it's, you know, there's push and pull to some degree. I believe that the free is that you can choose whatever, right? And the style is that it's yours, right? And I think in the sense that we, everyone inherently has sort of this bigness, right? Um, that one is very unique in regard to having the free choice to serve. Really, I mean, really, everyone has the option to do whatever, right? So there's always that bigness um, that's inside folks, and that can be challenging to actually figure out what that freestyle or what that bigness is and how to bring it into the space. So I would say freestyle is sort of having a bigness of, or having, it's being able to have bigness yet having it be condensed, right? For instance, I tend to have, I would say I'm decently versed in multiple different styles within street dance, right? Locking, popping, um, crump, and some house, right? And I would say even within that, it really all sort of boils down to natural movement and not forcing things. So I think it's to sort of refine the definition a bit further, it's the most natural expression that one would have within a style where it's actually the easiest, right? I think folks can get caught up in performing, and then when they get caught up in performing, then they think, oh, well, I have to, like, everyone's watching. It's like I have to perform. Um, Whereas the truth of the matter is that the best and freest is really just you just dancing, right? You just being, and it just being, it is what it is. Because it's, I think it's easier to freestyle is something where if one is looking to dance in a way that's not I'd suppose it dance freestyle dance is particularly not putting on it'd be the equivalent of if you have clothes on, right? And you chose those clothes and you know, probably the majority of your closet is like all whatever one size or, within reason, right? Then for instance, the that is going to clearly show like, oh, okay, for instance, I have size 13 feet. However, if I'm trying to show up in 15s or something like that, then it's going to be apparent like, oh, Caleb's not wearing something that works for him, right? So in a sense, it's sort of a pair of clothes, right? It's if you're going to work, you're probably going to wear something work related, right? I mean, that might be more on the comfortable side. However, you're going to wear something likely work related. Um, if you are in more of a, you're going to wear something that's to code, right? If you're at home, like you're probably going to wear pajamas. Um, if you're dancing, you're not going to show up and I'm not sure. I mean, if you might rock clogs. Um, if you're dancing though, you're not going to show up in something you can't move in, right? Um, so I think it's just various things that can really play into the different elements of freestyle. Ultimately, though, I just think that freestyle is the space within dance, and it doesn't have to be specifically street style. If, for instance, you know, I mean, if you're signing up for a street style contest, likely probably pretty good to have some sort of an idea of what street style's like. However, if you're more, if it's open style in terms of it's open category, you don't have to specifically do popping, crumping, locking, whatever. Um, then, you know, if you're if you shine more as doing fouettes or doing whatever more ballroom skills, then I think it makes more sense to do that. And then if you have like a little bit of some elements of street styles to incorporate that. Um, However, to not make it like your main thing, if that's like something that you just haven't found, I think that pocket in where you're sort of chilling, then I would say it's not really worth it. So I think freestyle ultimately is a couple of things. It's the the style of dance that you feel most free in, right? That you're most confident in, that you're most comfortable in. Um, yeah. So for instance, I probably wouldn't break out of crump, popping, locking, um, or house in order to go into breaking per se, right? Just because that's not as much where I find myself gravitate towards. So it's almost to the elements and the styles of dance that you find yourself most easily gravitated toward and most natural within. So I think that sort of sums it up. If you all are interested, definitely hit me up on getting the other 5 parts and love to see y'all there. All right, peace.